candidates crisscrossing the battleground states heading into the weekend. We are 32 days from Election Day. But for many Americans, voting is already underway. More than 1 million ballots, look at that, have already been cast. But the two men at the top of the GOP ticket still cannot accept that former President Donald Trump lost the 2020 election. Take a look at this.
You know, last election, we did great in 2016. A lot of people don't know we did much better in 2020. We won. We did win. It was a rigged election.
Did Donald Trump win? Yes or no?
Yes.
He did win.
Yep.
So will you concede? Will you concede if your opponent gets more votes? Will you concede?
I really feel bad for you, man.
All right, fact check. Even though it's been more than 1,400 days since that election, no, Trump did not win in 2020. The election was not rigged. And that rhetoric, of course, has consequences in more ways than one. An unapologetic election denier in Colorado is facing the consequences from embracing the so-called big lie. Former Mesa County Clerk Tina Peters was sentenced to 9 years behind bars yesterday for a data breach scheme inspired by Trump's false claims of voter fraud. She allowed a man affiliated with MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell to misuse a security card to illegally access the county's election system. Before handing down the sentence, the judge in the case ripped into Peters for her blatant lies and taking advantage, he says, of her privileged position.
Your reputation at this point is poor because of what you've done here and after. Your lies are well documented, and these convictions are serious. I'm convinced you would do it all over again if you could. You're as defiant as a defendant as this court has ever seen. You don't have those histories of drug and alcohol abuse. There's no lifetime of trauma, not even close to the type of mitigating circumstances I would see from many folks who sit in that chair. No, to the contrary, Ms. Peters, you are a privileged person. You are as privileged as they come. There are many things in my mind that are crystal clear about this case. You are no hero, you abused your position, and you're a charlatan who used and is still using your prior position in office to peddle a snake oil that's been proven to be junk time and time again. In your world, it's all about you. You abdicated your position as a servant to the Constitution, and you chose you over all else. Yes, you are a charlatan, and you cannot help but lie as easy it is for you to breathe. You betrayed your oath for no one other than you.
All right, let's bring in Colorado Attorney General Phil Weiser. Mr. Attorney General, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. What do you hope the impact this case will have as we're heading into the election? As we were laying out at the beginning of the program, Donald Trump is still peddling these false claims that he won in 2020. Now his running mate, J.D. Vance, is doing the same. And it appears that Tina Peters is now going to prison for 9 years for peddling that big lie herself and the malfeasance that she was convicted of in your state.
The reality is that words and rhetoric have consequences. And the big lie pushed by former President Trump, J.D. Vance, and others is dangerous. It's harmful to our democratic republic. We have a democratic republic because people know that our elections operate with integrity. In Colorado, we have the gold standard of elections. This whole charade was costly, it was dangerous, and sadly, as the judge noted, Tina Peters was an unrepentant liar. She was, without remorse, all about seeking fame and taking part in what's a dangerous conspiracy. She'll now pay the price.
And she remains defiant, as you were saying. She says that everything that she did was for the greater good of Mesa County. She asked for a sentence of probation, gave reasons why she should not go to jail. Let's listen to that and talk about it on the other side.
I have health problems that would not be treatable in the Department of Corrections. First of all, I need a magnetic mattress. I've been on that since 1995. I was in 2 rear-end collisions in 84 and 2010. It was pretty severe.
What about that, Mr. Attorney General? I mean, do you think that the judge should have shown more leniency in this case, or do you think that that sentence is about right?
this is a fair sentence. The judge took into account a range of circumstances, and those circumstances do include her personal situation, including that her son served our nation well and paid the ultimate price. Unfortunately, when you've got a defendant like Ms. Peters, who refuses to take any responsibility at all and continues to engage in dangerous illegal behavior, she violated her protection order not to go near the clerk's office. The importance of this sentence is it sends a very clear and compelling message. Undermining our elections will not be tolerated.
And what are your concerns going into the 2024 election? As we were saying at the top of the program, people are voting already in a variety of states around the country, depending on where you live. The early voting is already underway. Are you concerned that the former president and his running mate are undermining Americans' confidence in the electoral process in this country?
Jim, I'm very concerned. J.D. Vance at the debate was told appropriately that you're here because Mike Pence was willing to follow the law and do his duty. When you have a push for lawless behavior, when you see what happened on January 6th, when you see behavior like Tina Peters, that's a direct threat to our democratic republic. We have a republic because we honor the rule of law. We have elections that award the ballot to the person who gets the will of the people. The idea that you won't respect elections if you lose is antithetical to a democratic republic. And the fact that clerks like Ms. Peters were willing to go on a very dangerous and illegal effort to try to prove something that wasn't true, that harms the public confidence in elections. So we're at a precarious time. We need the rule of law, and we need to make sure that we hold this election fairly.
All right, Colorado Attorney General Phil Weiser, thank you so much for your time this morning. We really appreciate it.